You're listening to Rocket Night.
Are you ready? Hey, tonight I'm gonna take you on a little trip. We're going down south by the mighty Mississippi. I'm gonna take you to a place where lights never dim. Bring your mother, your brother, and your best friend. I'm gonna show you where they dance out in the street. They'll tell you all about your body heat. I'm not gonna talk about it, just gonna do it. Get on down, if you feel up good. Get on down.
I'm talking to Sam from Red Rain, incredible drummer from this very, very good band. And it's great to meet you and actually finally see you and talk to you a little bit, Sam.
It's great to meet you. Thanks for having me, Mike.
You're welcome.
Mike or Michael? Mike or Michael? Which one do you want to
Mike
go
is good. It's nice and short, and
Okay.
you know, cuts the interview time down a little bit.
All right.
Just a few questions for you, Sam. First of all, the band, when it started, where you're going with it, basically members of the band. We'll start off with that, if you can answer those questions for me.
We started back in about 2013, 2014. Just Bubba and I. Bubba's the lead singer. And we had some ideas to write some songs, and we were just going to do it ourselves. Bubba is very talented in playing almost every instrument and singing, obviously.
Wow.
And we started getting some songs together, and we ended up finding our bass player, Larry Moore. And things started rolling. We played 2 shows here in Richmond, and we needed to fill the sound out a little bit more and do a couple other things to kind of make the band where I felt it is now, and that's when we brought on Stevie. So that's how the band formed, and that's how we are where we are today.
Wow, that's great. As far as now, I know you come from Virginia, and you basically playing in that area, and you do stretch it a bit to the Midwest, maybe, and that type of thing.
That's correct. That is correct. Yep. We've been to Fort Wayne, Indiana, as far west as that, up to, I think the top was Erie, Pennsylvania, and down to Charleston, South Carolina at this point, and up and down the East Coast in between Pittsburgh and Baltimore and North Carolina. So yeah, that's where we've been so far.
That's great. I see good things coming your way. I know you have a new album coming out, which is great. I believe in October, the end of October.
That is correct. October 27th is the release date at this point.
Okay. And obviously you just came out with a couple of singles. First, Don't Look Back was, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago. Awesome song with the
Thank you.
Guest appearance by George Lynch. I mean, what's better than that, right?
Can't get much better than that.
And also the last song that you just came out with, Here I Am, which is, I'll tell you, that I watched the video of it, and just such a good cause. I mean, you guys really, you need to be applauded for what you're doing, the message that you're sending out in that song. If you can give me some basically information on how that song came out, and where it came from, and how you actually feel about it, what you're trying to do with the song itself.
Sure. And I'll try to answer that to the best of my ability, as I don't really do a lot of the writing. But I do know that Bubba does a lot of the writing. Again, our lead singer, with Stevie and Larry having some input. But Bubba really wrote most of the album during COVID. So there are songs on there that really about life reflections. Again, Don't Look Back is about life reflections, about, hey, you've lived this long and you've done so many things, and some of them good, some of them bad, and so now it's time to really kind of get in a positive direction and move forward. So that's what Don't Look Back's about. Here I Am really is about when everybody went through COVID and the world kind of stopped. Bubba has explained to me that you've read the news and you've read the papers that people were just depressed, and people were isolated and feeling alone, and then that's one part of it. And then you have people who are in, again, it spreads out to like the military and law enforcement and emergency services where, enough's enough. And it's, you have this sort of PTSD type syndrome, or, you know, kids or people in general who are being bullied. And really the last resort, unfortunately, in some of these people's headspace, that something that I don't know about, but is the last resort is sort of just ending it all. And we are trying to send the message that there is always somebody there to help you. Believe it or not, there's a friend who's willing to help as long as you kind of just reach out and, and just know, or maybe some of the friends might be able to tell the telltale signs, which I'm still sort of learning, but it's a really powerful song. Bob did a great job with the lyrics. The lyrics are very powerful. And again, the message is, look, there's always somebody there for you.
Yeah, it's true. I think people just get down in dumps. A bandmate of mine 25 years ago, he committed suicide, and to this day it still affects me. Our guitarist Mark, and just it's unfortunate, because if he did reach out, we would be there for him. And that's sure, just like you said, everyone has someone that they can reach out to, and I think we need to be a little bit more sensitive sometimes, because people can sometimes say, we have our lives too and stuff, but we're human. But they also have, again, what is it, 988? They can call American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Yep.
And the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. I mean, just great facilities that you can reach out to, and if you need that help.
You never know what somebody's going through, and it's funny. I just sent something to my daughter last week because they started school 2 weeks ago. It's, if you see that lonely person, I don't want to say child because my daughter is in her mid-teens now, but in high school. But if you see that person who's walking by themselves, who doesn't look like they fit in, or or by themselves, eat lunches, eats lunch by themselves, you just don't know what people are going through. And the tendency is to say, hey, look at that kid, ha ha ha, blah blah blah. But there's something going on in this person's life, and we just want people to know there are people there for you. So that's what that song's about. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of different songs on this album that, not all of them are as, I don't want to say dark, but maybe as deep as that. There's some really fun songs on this album, but this one in particular just is it's a great message, I'm really extremely excited about getting that message out to everybody.
Yeah, and we thank you for that. That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
On to lighter subjects.
Yes.
Bands you've opened for. I know you've opened for some real major worldwide acts. If you can give us some information on that, that'd be great.
Sure. So the very first show Red Rain played with was in Richmond years ago, was Salava. That was our first one. And then we followed that up with Lita Ford. So these were sort of individual shows. And then after the Lita Ford show, we got tagged to go tour with Tesla, which was unbelievable. And we have toured on and off with Tesla from 2017, and our last show with them was in 2019. And then we played shows with Striper, Winger, I don't know if I can remember all, Quiet Riot, Jackal, Kicks. Oh my God, the list goes on. I'm forgetting to Y&T. I'm sorry if I forget some, but yeah, those Dokken. So some of those big bands.
Yeah, that's
Night Ranger. Forgot Night Ranger.
Yeah, can't forget them. Yeah.
Yeah, can't forget them. So
yeah,
it's been a great ride so far, and we feel like we're just beginning.
I would say so. Yeah, I mean, I think I see a bright future for you guys. I mean, I've been in music for a long time. When I heard Red Rain, I was blown away, basically. Just and I pick people apart. I pick the guitarists apart, not in a bad way, but I listen carefully to what everyone's doing. Great vocals, great. Hey, the music ability of everyone is outstanding. I've gotta mention this, Sam, the double kick. I've got to mention that, just not to like we've talked before, let's face it.
Right,
And
right.
I'm impressed with that double kick.
Thank you. Thank you.
And whenever I played with a drummer personally, it was like, oh man, I wish you were playing double bass. And what fans out there may not know is you use two pedals, not just the one
I,
pedal, right? So
yep. I don't use a single pedal. I use two bass drums with two separate pedals.
so you had two arms and two
So,
legs going at it at all times. So
and let me just say this: that's not taken away from anybody who uses a double pedal by any stretch of the means,
right.
because
No,
there are
not at
some
all.
fantastic drummers who do that. The reason why, and I just want to explain, the reason for me is I'm very uncomfortable with the way that the double pedal sits, and so for me, it's the comfortability of how I position myself to play two bass drums. And for me, again, for me personally, because I know there's some great drummers, great drummers that use a double pedal, is um it's got a little bit of a, a slight different sound each drum. So I don't know. For me, I love the look of it. I love the feel of it, and that really the feel of it is why I do it that way. I just want to explain that because I don't want people to think that I won't do it that way. It's just for me personally, the comfortability of having two pedals.
Right, right. Well, sometimes people think, and you've probably seen this on stage where they'll have a stack of empty Marshall cabinets lined up, so it looks like they're playing through 16 Marshall cabinets, and they're just empty
Right,
cabinets, right? So, but
right, right.
you are playing two bass drums. I mean,
I am
you're
playing two bass
there for
drums.
show, right? And you can
Yeah.
hear it. I mean, if you listen, I was blown away on Don't Look Back when I started listening to that and I did that music review and I'm like, I had to point that out, whether they wanted it or not. I'm like, I'm going to point this out because this is exceptional. So,
Thank you. I've gotten some compliments at shows that people and again, I can only go by our experience. I don't ever want to down or talk about other musicians or anything else, but I've gotten quite a few compliments of people saying thanks, bringing back that double bass look. And usually in rock or hard rock, a lot of these drummers have that, which are awesome. I love the look of it. Again, you and I have spoken. My favorite drummer, Alex Van Halen, but he has four bass drums. But I'm not going to carry that much equipment. But some of the drummers that I followed back then, have just two bass drums. I think it's a really not unique look, but it's a cool look to have when you're on stage.
right, right, definitely. No doubt about it. And again, the sound helps. I mean, for the type of music you guys are doing, that 80s sound, that power rock, basically, it fits in. And anyone that just get on there, get on YouTube, and watch the video of these guys. I mean, you'll be a fan in no time. I guarantee you. I mean, you
I
guys,
appreciate it. Thank you.
I really, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of you already. So, and future goals, Sam. What are you guys looking to do in the future?
I think like everybody else, let me backtrack. So what we did was we have not put out a lot of music since 2016. We put out an EP, which was self-titled Red Rain, 5 songs, not four. We had an extra song on there. And we really hadn't recorded too much material up until 2020 because our focus was to play as many shows as we could and kind of trap new listeners and new people that were into the band. And so when COVID hit, which obviously was devastating, in some small way, it was a benefit to us so we could write new material and put out this new album because that's when it was all done through COVID. But the goal moving forward is to get this album out, get the music out, get the songs out to as many people as we can. And then we're going to try to get back on the road again and play shows and hit as many towns as we can. That's the goal. What's taken a little bit longer is we we're sort of in between booking agents, and so we're kind of dicing through that at the moment. And so hopefully when we land on where we want to be and who would like to help us or who we want to help us, we'll start booking again.
That's excellent.
That's the goal. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, world tour sometime in the future, maybe.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? But
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, it would be nice. You know, we love playing. I think any great band or bands that that do what we do. And what I mean by that is, we don't play one cover. We have no cover tunes. This is all original material. So um, we enjoy playing live, which I think a lot of musicians do, obviously. And live is where we feel like we're at our best. So yeah, being off stage is not fun. You rehearse every week, and then that gets monotonous because you don't really have anything on the docket that's like, hey, this we got something to look forward to. But we'll get back to that. And yeah, if a world tour comes, I mean, if everything works the way it would, that would be definitely in the cards. We would love that.
Great. You get any backstage tickets for me? Backstage.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, hey, let's but no,
Listen, being a fan of the band that I am, Van Halen, it was always a party, and so we enjoy that as well. Like I'm sure, like every other band does, So the more the merrier, We'll
right.
all ride the ride together. But yes, yes, you would have a backstage pass at any show you wanted, but we got to get to that point first before
Yeah.
we can even discuss that.
Yeah.
So
No, yeah,
that's where we are.
no doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably a little more excited than I normally am doing an interview, but when Rocket Knight asked me to do this interview, I was like, oh, this is going to be excellent because I love the music. And you have to
Yeah,
believe
appreciate it.
in something, to really put your heart into it. I don't have to tell you. That's why you're not doing
Yeah.
cover, right? I mean,
Yep.
heart is
Did it for years, and so I'll tell you a quick funny story, and I've said this in some other interviews, but I remember playing in a band years ago. This wasn't Red Rain. And I tend to find guys that I'm comfortable with. I'm not very comfortable. I'm a self-taught drummer. I'm dyslexic, so I don't read music. And so I get comfortable. And I've been playing with a band, this was years ago. And I played with a guitarist for years. And we played this show. We, we were playing Flying High again, right? And Chris could knock it out. Chris was a great guitarist. And just really the lead was pretty much spot on, and that's hard to do. And I'm sure he missed a couple notes. I mean, I was a fan of his, but at the break of the show, I had this couple come over and say, "Hey, it was a great song. You guys did a good job." I'm like, "Oh, thank you, guys." But in the third chorus or the third verse, and they started picking apart like not just what I did, but the band. And I'm thinking to myself, and very nice people, don't get me wrong, they were not being rude, but obviously a fan of Ozzy's, and I just said, hey, I perfectly understand, but as a band that's doing this and we're younger, it's an interpretation. And sometimes we're not going to hit every note. That's what makes them professionals and us a bar band.
right.
And I don't know, it stuck with me. And as I got older, I wanted to live and die by my own sword. And the band before this, Bubba and I were in, we were about 80% original and some covered. And we had written a song that just stuck in my head, and then the band kind of broke up, and then Bubba and I took it on from there, and that's how it got. But I've been doing this a long time, and I'd rather fail doing it the way I want to do it than conform to do what everybody else wants me to do. And the guys in this band understand that. They understood when they came on, and we have the same mindset. And that's what's so great about it is we get along so well. We might not agree on everything, but in the end, everybody knows what's best for the product, and everybody, and then and they generally, for the 99.9%, really love where we're at. And so when you get on stage, I think that shows as well. So that's where we're at with that.
Excellent, excellent. And I wanted to, before I forget, kudos to David Ivory on just producing what I think is a
Yep.
great album and just great songs. So kudos to him for doing a great job there. And I know he's Grammy nominated. So let's face it, he knows what he's doing too. So
Yeah, he does. He does. And and I've said this many times too. The great thing about David is, and now we have a really good working relationship because David did both albums. David did the EP, excuse me, and David did the full length album. The first one, we were finding each other's way, and David did such a wonderful job with that. But the great thing about David is now that we know him, and even before, is David never changed the idea of the song. Like he never changed, not just the meaning of the song, but took what we had and added to it. In other words, didn't really chop up the song and say, that's no good, that's terrible. I mean, he's like, okay, we're going to lose this part and we're going to add this part. But for the most part, he never changed the idea of the song that we had. And that, I think that goes a long way too, because it brought ease to the band, but it also, and made us feel a little bit more confident that a guy with this kind of stature likes what we do. We just need to make it better than what it is. And so that was really gave us a lot of confidence.
yeah, all around a great job by everyone. And for anyone looking, YouTube, and you're on Spotify, I believe, and Facebook and
Yep.
those sites. It's REIGN for rain, right? We just want to clear that up. So
Yep.
people are looking for you. They're not just spelling it the wrong way and not able to find it. So,
Yep. I always tell people, look up Red Rain Band. So REDREIGN, then band. That kind of gets you right to where you're going. But yes, that is correct.
all right. Do you have a website too that they can reach you at?
So we're in the midst of releasing a new website. We're having it all redone, but it would be redrainband.com. It's not up yet. Put the final touches on that. I'm hoping to have that up in a week or two. But you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. There's Red Rain Band. Facebook is usually where we're doing all of our social media information. And what I'd also like to throw in, I don't also is and you may we're going to come into this, but we just signed with Deco Entertainment, and they have been wonderful to work with so far. Again, another company that that has not changed our ideals of what we want, and they've only made it better for us as well. So I wanted to throw that out to Charlie and Bruce and all of the people that have made Red Rain starting to get a name out there, and their whole staff. It's wonderful. I wanted to throw a little kudos to them.
Yeah, I don't. Great team there. So,
Yeah.
Sam, it's been a pleasure. Always is, right?
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Always enjoy talking to you, brother. So
Yeah, it's always it's like I've known you forever. So,
exactly.
and I'm sure we'll be speaking in the near future. But thanks again for your time. Really appreciate it, and look forward to this album release.
Thank you.
Watch for it in the end of October 27th, was it?
It's October 27th, and we'll have one more single release at the end of this month. So we're going to release the third single and then the album. So I appreciate your time, and as always, thank you. Great talking to you, and thanks for letting us spread the word of the band. So we're very excited.
My pleasure, Sam. My pleasure. Keep up the great work. I'm gonna go.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm gonna go and listen to some songs right now from you. So listen for that kick, double kick.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, buddy. You take care of yourself. Have a great
You take
night.
care too. All right, you as well. Take
I
care
will.
now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Rock at Night.
The introductory song, Get On Down, is from blues artist Billy Bass Alford. Look for his music at ReverbNation.com.